Welcome everybody to our game today. We're going to be looking at a game from between Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer, the world's smartest man versus the man who was involved with creating the atomic bomb. And we see that Oppenheimer clearly liked to blow things up because he blows his position up pretty quickly into this game. So the game begins with e4, and we see Einstein here clearly had clearly a very decent chess player, whereas Oppenheimer you think was definitely lower elo. So we get e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, we got the Ruy Lopez, then we get a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, knight f6, castles, knight takes e4. This is following master theory. We get rook to e1, d5, a4 by Einstein, and here Oppenheimer plays b4. Now in master level, the game continues here with knight c3, and after knight takes, pawn takes on c3, bishop to e6 and a4 then. We see that white has a very comfortable winning margin in here, and never losing a game to black in this position. But as we saw in the game, we had b4 by Oppenheimer, we get d3 by Einstein, and then after knight c5, we get knight takes e5. And instead of taking back here, Oppenheimer didn't want to face getting any checks or anything like that, so he plays rather conservative move, knight to e7, trying to stop any discovered checks. So then we get queen to f3, targeting mate on f7. So here, what would you play? Well, the best defensive move is clearly bishop to e5, or e6 rather. But Oppenheimer doesn't play that. He plays the rather poor and shows a bit of chess naivety by playing f6, allowing Einstein to check on h5 and then pawn to g6 blocks. And can you see the move to take here? Well, you've guessed it, it's knight to g6. And of course, if you take, you lose the rook, and if you don't take, you're going to lose with a discovered check anyway. So you kind of have to take. So Einstein takes the rook, and here we see that Oppenheimer has really started to blow his position up. We get knight takes on b3, c takes back, but this is the real killer move by Oppenheimer because he plays queen to d6, which allows bishop to h6. So the best move here would have been king to f7 to have any chance of staying in the game, because after queen check on h7, blocking by the bishop and bringing your bishop to h6, you could protect with knight to f5, of course. Lots of different plans for how you could proceed, but that would have given you a fighting chance. But instead, we see in the game we get the queen out, and then after bishop h6, king to d7, bishop takes, and then we get this move bishop to b7, showing an understanding the fact that there is a pin here on the queen. Then we get queen to g7, we get rook to e8. We've got 3 attacking pieces and 3 defending, and here we get knight to d2, we get c5, and a really nice move here by Einstein, showing his ability here and understanding. He plays first of all rook to d1, we get a5, setting up this nice move of knight to c4. Why is this a nice move by the knight? Can you tell? Well, first of all, you're attacking the queen, which means you're going to lose as a defender on this, and you're going to end up losing your pieces here. So and if you take, what happens? Well, you've just allowed yourself to be pinned by the rook, and that's indeed what happened. Oppenheimer took the knight, Einstein opened the file, and so he had to take with the queen, followed by rook check, king to c8, and in this position Einstein took the knight with the bishop on e7, and here Oppenheimer finally admits that his position is completely destroyed. So a really nice win by Albert Einstein.